So, how do you build an entire universe? You might think it takes years, right? Decades, even. Well, what if I told you it could be done in a single day? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on creator Nicholas Alexander Benson and his pretty unique daily process. We're going to see exactly how he takes these wild early morning dreams and turns them into full-blown comic book worlds, basically hour by hour.
And boom, here's what you get at the end of all that. A universe just jam-packed with cosmic assassins, super soldiers, galaxy-threatening parasites, the whole shebang. But this entire comic anthology, isn't just a final product. It's really the culmination of a process that starts way, way before the sun even comes up. So, yeah, let's go back to the beginning.
All right, Section 1, a creator's morning. So the foundation for this kind of creative output, it's not just some random spark of genius. It's actually built on a bedrock of intense discipline. And it all kicks off in the quiet, dark hours of the early morning.
Okay, so get this schedule. 4:30 a.m., he's logging an entry from his lucid dream journal. I mean, he's literally pulling ideas straight from his subconscious. Then, just 90 minutes later, after a super quick routine, he's already making art out of it. There's like zero gap between the inspiration hitting and the creation starting. It's incredible.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of his whole mindset. He says he used to feel like the real world was just something to get through, like a loading screen before he could get back to exploring his dreams. But now he's found this balance, this passion for his creative work that makes both worlds feel just as real, just as fulfilling. I mean, that's a pretty powerful shift in how you see things, right?
Okay, next up, the Dream Factory. This is the engine of his whole process. He calls it the Dream Factory, and it's basically how one single idea from a dream gets, well, processed and blown up into all these different forms of media. And yeah, he gets a little help from his arsenal of AI tools. So to really get what's going on in his dreams, you first got to understand the storyverse. Just think of it like this. It's a multiverse, but inside of different Earths, it's packed with every possible story idea you can imagine, all existing as these little cosmic bubble universes. And that is the landscape he explores when he's lucid dreaming. Pretty wild.
So, on this specific morning, the dream he had was actually a sequel to a dream from the night before. Imagine this. He's being chased by a were-roach through a Halloween-themed village. His mission? Check out the crash site of this baddie called the Red Phantom. But the whole place is just swarming with roaches, so he's got to make a strategic retreat. And that little nightmare? That's the seed for the entire day's work.
So what happens next? What does he do with this crazy were-roach dream? Well, it gets fed right into what he calls the dream media machine. And from that one single story, he spits out reference art, a short animated scene, a song, a podcast-style breakdown, and he even updates his own fan wiki. Think about that. One idea, 5 totally different creative outputs. That's a system.
Let's see how this actually works. So the story of that chase gets turned into a dream tune. The lyrics here are a direct play-by-play from the dream. Patchwork pest pursuing me past the pumpkin patch, had to make a fast dash, a plan I had to hatch. It's literally taking the dream and turning it into music. So cool. Okay, and this might be the most fascinating part of the whole thing. He doesn't just create stuff from the dream, he analyzes it. He uses an AI persona he calls Gemini Nova to make a podcast, the Dreamcast, just to break down the symbolism of his own dream. So in this case, the AI figures the roach infestation means his victory over the Red Phantom wasn't really a clean win, that the problem wasn't solved, it just transformed. The really crucial thing here is that he's using AI to dig for deeper story ideas inside his own subconscious. Mind-blowing.
All right, next section, brainstorming a new world. So after he's done processing that dream, the focus completely shifts. He moves on from analyzing what's already happened to creating something brand new. It's time to brainstorm his next comic book idea.
And wow, what an idea it is. He comes up with this new villain, a cult leader who gets his followers to climb into VR tanks. He then pumps them full of adaptogens, those herbs that are supposed to help your body handle stress, and uses simulated torture to unlock their powers. But here's the crazy twist. He can then absorb his followers and all their new abilities with the ultimate goal of becoming a god. And he's not just spitballing, he's already figured out the mechanics of how it all works. The followers do this voluntarily, which makes the cult leader legally untouchable. But, and this is the key, his power is directly tied to how much his followers believe in him.
This sets up such a brilliant weakness, right? The hero doesn't have to be stronger than him. They just have to find a way to break the cult's faith. And here they are. Look at this. Once he has that core idea locked down, he just fires up his AI design tools to generate the visuals. And he says it takes a matter of minutes. Just minutes. The idea goes from a simple text note to these incredible, fully realized character designs. The speed is just unreal.
So let's recap. We've seen him process dreams, we've seen him brainstorm totally new ideas, but where is all this going? What's the end game? Well, this is where the day's work hits its climax. It's time to compile all these stories, all this effort, into one single, massive, published graphic novel.
Because on this particular day, he didn't just make a few new pieces of art or write a few lines of a story. Nope. He assembled and released Jet Black RLSH Comics Volume 1, a 154-page digital anthology. This is the tangible result of that daily grind. It's a complete collection of his universe, built from who knows how many mornings just like this one, and now it's out there, ready for everyone to read.
And diving into this collection really gives you a feel for the kind of worlds that come out of his process. For instance, inside, you've got the origin of Cruel. This guy is basically a living weapon from some war-torn planet, complete with enhanced strength and regeneration. His only rule? Survival. Then you've got the story of the Panama Signal. It starts with a meteorite crash that unleashes this parasitic alien called the Sludge that literally eats light to grow. And the whole thing kicks off because one guy mails samples of it to his followers and accidentally starts a galactic catastrophe. No big deal, right?
And the stories just get wonderfully weird from there. When cleanup crews finally show up on Earth, they get stopped in Egypt by an ancient pyramid guardian who's convinced the sludge is some kind of divine blessing. So now you've got this conflict born from a complete cosmic coincidence, and it's going to take an equally bizarre solution to fix it.
And you know, the stories don't just stop when the big battle is over. After the sludge is finally gone, the book actually digs into the aftermath. A part of humanity develops superpowers, which leads to this deep resentment and conflict with the leaders they feel totally abandon them. It's a universe where things have real, lasting consequences.
So there you have it, from a 4:30 a.m. Dream Journal entry to brainstorming brand new worlds, all the way to releasing a 154-page graphic novel, all in a single, incredibly productive day. It really goes to show that universes aren't just imagined out of thin air. They're built, piece by piece, day by day. Which really leaves us with just one final thought. Every creator has a process. So, what would you build with your day?